Pope Francis says Our Lady of Guadalupe shows God's closeness to humanity and that he never stops watching over our world.
Pero por favor, que lo hagan con verdadero espíritu guadalupano.
In a Mass for Our Lady of Guadalupe yesterday at the Vatican, the Holy Father said Mary begs us to allow her to be our mother. She also wants us to open our lives to her Son. Pope Francis celebrated the Mass in Spanish. We go now to Professor Rodrigo Guerra, Secretary of the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. Professor, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Talk to us about the Holy Father's homily yesterday and also what stood out the most to you.
Yeah, the Holy Father yesterday during the feast of Our Lady of Guadalupe here in St. Peter's Basilica gave us a wonderful homily, mainly centered in the idea that the Guadalupano event is an encounter with the living presence of Jesus Christ, remembering us that also Our Lady helped us to enjoy the experience of being church, but also he made a very special invitation for all the bishops all over the Americas to join the Mexican bishops in the preparation for the 500 years of the Guadalupano event. As you know, in the year 2031, we are going to celebrate an enormous jubilee, very linked with the Jubilee of Redemption in the year 2033. And providentially, both jubilees are linked through a 3 years space, and we need to prepare this path from now. The bishops in Mexico have invited all the bishops in the continent, and the Holy Father is reinforcing this invitation for making a novena, 9 years of preparation for living in depth the message of Our Lady of Guadalupe and the response that San Juan Diego gave 500 years ago to the presence of Our Lady.
And Professor, can you tell us a little bit more about the Pontifical Commission for Latin America and some of the work that you're doing at the Vatican?
Yes, Pope Pius XII had an enormous vision at his time, creating the Latin American Council for Bishops, and also at the same time, almost at the same time, the Pontifical Commission for Latin America. He was astonished by the, let's say, the common cultural background that we have in Latin America, from Argentina to Mexico. But little by little, the next pontiffs have explained that the experience of being Christian in America has arrived through Our Lady, not only in Latin America, but all over the continent. That's why John Paul II didn't hesitate to recognize Our Lady of Guadalupe as Emperatriz de las Américas. It means she's more than the Queen of the Americas. And this is not a mere pious expression, it's a program to rediscover that we all Americans, we live in the same church. That is true, that is divided by some boundaries, political boundaries, but our common faith is an invitation always to live in a bigger experience of communio, the adventure of being Christian.
And Professor, we're almost out of time, but can you quickly tell us, give us a sense of how the Church is doing in Latin America?
Yeah, in Latin America, the Church is living different challenges. Mainly social and political challenges are very, very hard because we have populist regimes from the right, from the left. There is a lot of problems around the narco traffic all over Latin America, but at the same time, there are a lot of seeds of hope because we are rediscovering even in the most, let's say, external atmospheres out of the Church, new seeds of concern, a promissory concern about the gospel, about the true experience of being Catholic, and there is a kind of revival of the Catholic experience in the middle of different struggles and difficulties.
Oh, Professor Guerra, thank you so much for your time and speaking with us today. We really appreciate it. God bless you.